Hey everyone! Before we get into today's story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our creepy tales. Today's story is about Tessa, a 29-year-old graphic designer from Johannesburg. She's an independent traveler who loves old houses and peaceful retreats. After a long, stressful year of work and burnout, she booked herself a quiet escape in Cape Town, something simple, cheap, and surrounded by nature. She found a quaint Cape Dutch-style Airbnb in Constantia. It looked like it had been pulled out of a vintage postcard. Whitewashed walls, tall oak trees, wooden shutters, and a host named Helena. The listing had no reviews, but the place looked peaceful. Too peaceful. When she arrived, even the Uber driver was hesitant. He dropped her off at the gate and mumbled, "People don't really stay here long," before driving away. Tessa stepped inside the cottage. Everything looked exactly like the photos. Neat, old-fashioned, perfectly still. It was almost like no one had touched anything in years. That night, she heard footsteps above her, even though the house had no second floor. At 3:12 a.m., she woke up. All the taps in the house were running. A chill ran down her spine. And on the bathroom mirror, written in steam, were the words, "Get out." She wiped the mirror, heart pounding. Was someone in the house? Was this some sick joke? She messaged Helena. No reply. The next morning she tried to leave, packed her bags, but the front door wouldn't open. Not locked, just stuck. Her phone had no signal. The windows, nailed shut. That night, the lights went off at exactly 3:12 a.m. again. The door to the guest bedroom, which she hadn't touched, slowly creaked open. She stepped out into the hallway. The air was ice cold. On the floor, muddy footprints leading from that room to her own. Tessa ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. The cabinets burst open, a plate shattered, and then, just behind her ear, a voice whispered, "He killed me here." Tessa turned. No one. She spotted something she hadn't noticed before, a framed photo on the fireplace mantel, a black and white picture of a couple in front of the same cottage. The woman looked just like Helena. The man beside her was holding a knife. Something about the woman's eyes drew her in. Not fear, not pain, but a plea, as if asking for help. Tessa did something strange. Instead of running, she picked up the photo and whispered, "I hear you." And for the first time since she arrived, the cold vanished. The air warmed, the lights flickered back on, then her phone buzzed. One bar of signal. She rushed to the door. It opened easily. Outside, the morning sun was rising through the oaks. Birds chirped. Everything looked normal again. Her phone had a new message from an unknown number. "Thank you for listening. I can rest now." Tessa looked back at the house one last time. Peaceful, empty. Later, she did some digging and found that Helena was real. She'd owned the cottage decades ago. Her husband went missing under suspicious circumstances. Rumor was he had hurt her, and she had vanished too. Tessa never heard from Helena again. The listing disappeared. But sometimes she wonders if all that spirit needed was someone to acknowledge her story, to let her be seen, to be heard. Tessa left Cape Town feeling strangely lighter. And for the first time in months, she slept through the night. No nightmares, no fear, just peace.